So, David Herrod, would you please come up and wow us?
Is this on? Good. Thank you. It's great to be here. And I think we're going to have some fun tonight with rapid inductions. And so I hope everybody has picked up one of the handouts. What are rapid inductions? So rapid inductions are anything that's not a progressive relaxation induction. And if you look at Ellman said you should only take 3 minutes to get somebody into somnambulism. So a rapid induction ought to be something that doesn't take a long time. And they should have some pizzazz and some interest. If you have somebody in your office or you're doing an induction, nobody's watching and nobody cares. They're looking at you. You can take your time and it's boring. If you're going to do something in public where you're going to show people how hypnosis works, you want to have something that's got some pizzazz, some spark in it, and so that you can get people interested. If you're doing, for instance, like a World Hypnotism Day, which is January 4th, you go to Bookman's and people are coming in, how are you going to get them interested in hypnosis? You want to be able to do some rapid inductions. Do something that people go, so, and that's part of why you want to learn these. So you can learn them for entertainment and presentation. They give you a greater understanding of how hypnosis works. They give you flexibility in your clinical work. They make you more confident. You can have more fun. You can bring more business. And it's kind of acts as a belt and suspenders, because now you have new things in your toolbox that you can use when you're working with clients. So there's 7 elements of rapid inductions. Now, when people see rapid inductions, they think they're magic. But they really work on physiological principles. The first one is the orienting response. Now, so when you get a sudden shock or a startle, you hear a backfire, a gunshot, your eyes widen, you stop, you look, it's a survival instinct. Children are born with it. Children are born with a fear of falling and a fear of loud noises. So when you hear a noise like a backfire, you turn to figure out what it is, and your mind is focused on it, your brain gets an energy spike. And you're trying to figure out what to do. What is it something you've got to worry about? So once you see a car, you go, it's just a car. You go back to talking or whatever you were doing. But if you're in a plaza and you hear shots that sound like gunfire, and you look and people are running that way, your instinct is fall on. You're not going to sit around and go, I don't know what this is. I'm going to wait. So it's something that as a survival thing, it doesn't get overridden by trying to think about it. You just go for it. So confusion. When you're confused, you try to find a way out of that confusion. So in one of, like a Milton Erickson type induction where you say, look at your hands on your lap. Look at the one that you think is going to raise up first. Now that may be the left hand, or it may be the right hand. And the left hand may not be the right hand, but the right hand may leave the left hand behind. So you're giving somebody something, and they're trying to. What are you getting at? What are you trying to point out? And you can use that as a way of getting them into trance. One of the inductions I have in here is the hand roll induction, where you have the person go and roll their hands, and you tell them faster, slower, faster, reverse, and you wait until they're confused and they look at you with this, well, I'm trying to do what you're saying, but I can't follow along with it. And at that point, you can grab their hands and say sleep and get them to go into trance. Because it's a way for them to get out of that situation of feeling confused. Focus of attention. So hypnosis is all about focusing, narrowing of attention. So you use that in rapid inductions as well. You want to focus their attention on what you want, the direction you want to go in. Not just, don't let them wander away. point at your face. Look at me. Look at my eyes. You snap your fingers. Get their attention. You give them instructions to follow. And you shock, surprise, and confusion all help with that focus. Expectation. Okay? If you're watching a movie, like a horror movie, and you've seen Jason go into this room, and the kids from the lake are coming back in, and you know he's hiding there, and the music is dun, 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 and you know one of them is going to get killed. And as the camera follows, the kids are just kind of going in, they don't not paying too much attention, and they get into their room, and somebody opens the closet door, and you jump. You're startled, because you think that's where Jason is, so he's not there. So the filmmakers have used expectation to get you to that point where you're going to jump. Right? If you're in a stage hypnosis show, if you're one of the volunteers and you get up on stage, you're in an uncomfortable position. People are watching you, the lights are on you, you're ready. You've got an expectation that something is going to happen, and you're already kind of nervous about just being up in front of that group of people. So that helps get the person into hypnosis when you do your induction. So confidence. Okay. People are very receptive to your mannerisms and behaviors. So if you're doing instant inductions, rapid inductions, you want to be confident, even if you're not really inside, because people pick up on that. If you're going to go, well, I kind of want to try this handshake induction on you. I'm not really sure it's going to work, but I want to try it anyway. It's likely that it won't work. You want to give them the expectation that if they follow your instructions, do what you've asked them to do, they're going to go into hypnosis, and that's it. One of the things that people tend to forget, people don't know what you're thinking. They don't know what you're trying to do. They don't know where you're going. They don't know what you want them to do. You have to tell them what you want them to do. And on the flip side of that is they don't know when you made a mistake. So why tell them about it? So when you're doing an induction and it doesn't quite work, sometimes it won't work. Don't go, oh, it didn't work. Go on to something else. Move through that to something else. So if you've done a hand press thing and it didn't work, go to another one. Try another induction. Keep working at it. Don't let them know that they haven't failed. There's no failure. If you look at an NLP says there's no failure, only feedback. So when something doesn't quite work, you go, oh, what else can I try? And just keep moving along with it. About a month and a half ago, after I'd said I'd come and talk about rapid inductions, I figured, well, I'm going to practice on some people with these, because I hadn't done them for a while. And I was over in El Cajon. My wife's sister lives in El Cajon. And she and her daughter and 3 kids who applied for asylum here. They're from Dubai. And my wife's sister, the daughter that's lived here has been here for a while. Another daughter came to visit for a few weeks with her daughter and son. And so Vicki and I went over there and spent 3 or 4 days over there and had a great time. And they wanted to be hypnotized. Their original language is Arabic. They speak pretty good English. And they're Muslim. This was right during Ramadan. So they were fasting and they were sleeping during the day. But they still wanted to do this. So I got them in a bedroom, and I worked with one gal and her daughter, and I did balloons and things. Arm levitation. And I did a hand press induction. And the 21-year-old, the daughter, I go like that. I pull my hands away. She goes, eyes wide open. It was like they wanted to experience hypnosis from a point just to see how it was done, but didn't want to really follow along and were holding back. So I did a few of these things. I didn't tell them that they were doing anything wrong or that I didn't get the results I wanted. I went on and did more of these. And finally, I kind of go, I'm just going to do an element thing. So I did an element on both of them, and the mother, I had her arms sitting out here like this, and the daughter, twisted, got her hand numb and twisted and picked it up like that, and the people watching, so they were impressed anyway. So even if I took a little more time, didn't quite get what I wanted with the first couple of tries, I persisted. I didn't tell them that there was anything going on, anything wrong, and eventually got what I wanted out of it. Context. Okay. Rapid inductions, they don't work everywhere, right? If you go up to somebody in the street and yank their arm and say, sleep, they're not going to, most of the time you're not going to have anything happen. You may have somebody punch you. If you're doing street hypnosis in Las Vegas, people are used to seeing that. They're used to seeing people in the streets, and you can go up and say, I'm a hypnotist. Have you ever been hypnotized? I'd like to hypnotize you with a rapid induction. Is that okay? And so you get permission. You create the expectation that you're a hypnotist, so what you're going to do is going to get them into hypnosis, and then you'll have a likely positive outcome. What about in a clinical practice? If you've been using a progressive relaxation induction, and suddenly you go, sleep, and you pull them off the chair using a Don Rice zapper, that's not going to work well. You're going to alienate your client, your subject. So you want to say, well, I know I've been doing this a relaxation induction with you the last few times I've seen you, but I have something that would work a little faster I'd like to try. Is that okay? So you get permission to try something a little bit different, and you don't just lay into them with something. You work with them to get to the point where you want. Pattern interrupt. Okay, so I think most people have heard of this handshake induction that Milton Erickson came up with. So his first, pattern interrupt. Anything you do that's under subconscious control that you don't have to think about, you can interrupt. And when you interrupt it, it puts you in a temporary state where you're suggestible. And your mind's coming on, I was trying to shake hands, but now I can't. What am I supposed to do now? So the Erickson handshake interrupt is where he puts out his hand to shake hands, the other person does. And when he grabs it, he does an ambiguous touch, or he did, he's dead. So ambiguous touch where he touches the hand to get it done, because the person doesn't know, trying to figure out what he's doing, but he's just kind of guiding the hand, lifting and pushing until it stays in place. So Richard Bandler's handshake induction, when the person extends their hand, you grab it, push it up towards their face, point to the hand and say, look at the spot on your hand and notice how it becomes less focused as the hand approaches your face. Brushing your teeth. You brush your teeth. You can interrupt brushing your teeth. Somebody coming into the room to say something. You stop. You interrupt what somebody's doing, and it gives you a chance to induce hypnosis. So in these additional points, rapid inductions don't last very long. You've got a 5-second window before a person kind of goes, oh, that was weird. So once you do the induction, you want to use some deepeners if you want to stay in hypnosis. If you fail, move on. So if you fail, you can move on to another induction, or if they don't, so you go, just close your eyes and relax. So you're already starting the process of getting them into hypnosis. So just continue in a different manner. So you haven't failed, just move on. You can allow yourself to go into hypnosis. If somebody's looking at you, you can just relax your own facial muscles. Start to do hypnotic blinking. Slow down your blinking. Do things that reflect what somebody in hypnosis would be doing. And they'll pick up on that. You can. So hypnosis is the way you induce hypnosis is by referring to REM, sleep. When you go to sleep, your body becomes relaxed. At some point, your mind becomes relaxed. You start to visualize, and then your body becomes stiff. So anytime you're referring to that in an induction, you're helping a person to bring that memory out, to bring that state out, so that they will go into hypnosis. And in all of the inductions, sometimes the way they're written up in here, you don't say close your eyes and sleep, because a lot of times if you pull the arm, their eyes, the subject's eyes will close. But there's no problem with just adding that to one of these inductions. In fact, any of the wording in here, none of it's written in stone. It's just this is just a guide. So the whole idea is that with this presentation is that if you look at all of these and look at these elements, you should be able to take any of these elements and create your own induction just by thinking about it for one. So let's go in and we'll work on these different rapid inductions. So I'm not going to do a handshake induction like one of these bandlers. I put a link on here. There's a good Darren Brown induction on YouTube. And it starts about halfway through this 3-minute piece. And he gets somebody out of the audience, he starts to do a handshake thing. He says, look at me, and pushes the hand up, and then puts his hand behind the neck and says, sleep. And it's a tip over, so it's a combination of a pattern interrupt with a orienting response thing, because you're losing your balance. So when you're losing your balance, you're thinking, well, what am I supposed to do? And somebody says sleep, and you go, oh, that's the easiest thing I can do, as long as you feel like that's going to be the safe thing to do. Can I get a volunteer to work with me on it? Christine? So my daughter Christine is here in the audience. Yeah, just come up here.
Hello.
She's wearing her Arizona Summit Law School t-shirt. She's going through orientation now. She'll start next month. So I'll be passing the hat around.
Yeah, expenses all.
So Christine, I'm going to do a hypnotic induction. If I promise not to hurt you or embarrass you, will you follow my instructions?
Yes.
So in a moment, I'm going to shake hands with you 3 times. And I'll shake hands with you the first time, and I'll say 1. When I shake hands with you the second time, I'll say 2. And when I shake hands with you the third time, I want you to just close your eyes and relax. Go into a deep, deep relaxation, mind and body. Is that okay? You understand that? 1. 2. Sleep. Yeah, okay. So that's basically the she's never let me try to hypnotize her before. She's resisted it every time we do it. So if you'd stand up for a second. So this is one, and I joined the ASPH in 2004. And at that time, John London was doing mid-month workshops at Ray Grove's house. And he did a one-day, one of the workshops he did was on rapid inductions. And so I'm just relax your hand. Relax your hand. So look right here. Come in. Sleep.
Here he goes.
Okay, and I didn't do it right. I'm sorry. I didn't do it the way John did. So do it again. Okay, now look at me right between the eyes.
Am I supposed to sleep?
Fine. Whatever you do is fine.
Yeah.
So what John would say is after you say sleep, after you pull the hand, you wait a quarter of a second before you say sleep. And then you touch the forehead, because normally when you touch the forehead, the eyes will shut. And that will also give you a chance if you want to massage the forehead at that point. So the next one is Don Rice's arm drop. And I put that in there as an example of clear instructions. So when that came out of a workshop on rapid inductions that Don used to give. And he called it one for a resistive client because he puts in the wording, "You're in charge." And he says that multiple times during the induction. But I think the Dan Jones version, now Dan Jones is a British hypnotist, and he teaches classes on udemy.com. So he's got a lot of nice classes. I took an Ericksonian hypnosis class from him, and as well as a rapid inductions class and a conversational class. So they're very inexpensive, and he's fun to watch. He's got a lot of nice little videos on. So I'm going to raise your arm like this. I'm going to release your arm. And I want you to allow that arm to drop onto your lap only as fast as you allow yourself to go into deep, relaxing. Release your arm now. Just allow your arm to slow down so that you can really, I see you're resistive. You smile.
But I felt nice. Like I was going through a cloud.
Well, let's try it again. So we just relax. You can even close your eyes. Because it doesn't matter. Just relax. And allow yourself to drift into hypnosis only as fast as the arm drops into your lap. And you can go as slow as you want, fully enjoying dropping into deep hypnosis, relaxing hypnosis. And you can smile. Because smiling's all right, it helps you. Even laughter can help. Slower, deep, all the way down. Deep. All right, back to the room.
Christine,
Yes.
I have a simple question for you. Do you feel unsafe up there? We're all friends here.
Well, I
Well-
don't feel unsafe, but the one pull that was like when he was like, "Oh wait, I did it wrong." That one I felt like a little in my wrist for that 1 second. But everything else I feel okay. It's kind of weird because I remember when I was like really young and he was trying this on me too, and I was just like, "Dad, I don't understand." So I feel like I'm in the same spot, but I am more willing than when I was a kid.
Well, pretend he's not your dad.
You can't do that.
I know that's what I was like. Don't call me up. Oh my gosh.
I volunteer to go out and watch. So, if you want to do it, probably be better.
Whatever.
What is that?
Whatever you want to do.
Let Christine watch you induce Kate.
Yeah. Maybe for one of them? Yeah.
Sure.
Maybe for one.
Do that
Why don't you pull a second chair?
No, I didn't mean to hit you with the chair. Yeah, fine. So how does I hypnotize you? So
Recess.
I'm going to count from 1 to 20. And every time I say a number, I want you to close your eyes. And before I say the next number, I want you to open your eyes. So 1, 2, 4, 5, deeper and deeper relaxed. All the way down, that's it. Getting more and more relaxed with every word I say and every breath I take. 7. That's good. Just relax and the numbers can just drift away. You don't have to worry about the numbers anymore. So good to feel relaxed. 1, 2, 3, back to room awareness. Thank you. So, if you would, just look at my finger right here. Just continue to watch my finger. And just notice how your eyes start to feel tired. They blink and blink more. They blink more as you just allow them to close. Blinking faster and faster as you get tired, heavier and heavier. More and more. Deeper, deeper. Just allow yourself to relax and go deeper and deeper. With every breath you take, just more and more relaxed, deeply hypnotized. Going deeper from the top of your head down to your toes, all the muscles relaxing, feeling wonderful, wonderfully relaxed as you go deeper and deeper. Not a care in the world. All right, 1, 2, 3, turn to room awareness, feeling better than before. Now I'd like, okay. I'd like you to push on my hand, push upwards on my hand, turn your hand this way, and push upward, harder, harder, harder. Then look as though you were looking at the back of your hand. Push harder, harder, harder. Sleep. Harder, harder. Harder, harder. A little differently. Allow your eyes to close. Now it's not working. Thank you. Let's try the hand ball. So take your hands like this, and as if you're doing a conga dance. Forward, 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 faster, 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 back, back, reverse, 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 forward, slower, 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 forward, reverse, reverse, forward, forward, reverse, reverse. Look at your hands, forward, forward, reverse, 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 forward, forward, slower, 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 faster, faster, faster. No, faster, do it backwards, do it forwards, faster, slower, sleep. Deeper, deeper, relaxed. Just allow yourself to go more and more relaxed. More deeper relaxed, muscles relaxed. That's really good. good to feel so relaxed as you allow yourself to go deeper and deeper. Every muscle in your body, every fiber of your being going deeper and deeper relaxed. You notice your breathing slowing down as you just let yourself drift off. This wonderful feeling of hypnosis. All right, 1, 2, 3, back to the room. Back to the room. Feeling better than before. More relaxed. Like your necklace. Your necklace, I like your necklace. I think that's all I'm going to do here. I think that's, yeah, we've gone through.
Thank you, that was fun.
You I'll deal with later.
Looks like you're not going to law school now.
Well, that's it. Thank you.